Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Loving Little Learners. Today we are going to be taking a look at a differentiated learning platform called Freckle. Freckle is an online learning platform that allows students to practice math, ELA, social studies, and science at their own level. The activities adapt to meet the current skill level of each student and provides them with appropriate challenge and support. You can also choose to align the activities that you assign with the specific standards that you are teaching. You can assign your students activities, or they can even explore activities on their own. I'm going to show you around the free version of Freckle to see how you can begin using this learning platform with your students right away. Here we are on the Freckle homepage. This is also called our dashboard. On the left-hand side, you can see a couple of options. We have our dashboard, activity feed, assignments, roster, the connection to your school, the option to view Freckle as a student through the View Student App button. Then you have all of your subject areas, math, ELA, social studies, and science. Here on the dashboard, we can explore by subject area, and we can also view our students' starting levels and see how well our students are doing and how long they have been practicing the activities we are assigning to them with this View Activity Feed button. Let's begin and click on this Math Overview button here. We'll click on Explore. When you click on Explore, you can see the different ways that you're able to create lessons or assign lessons for your students. They have online lessons and printable resources that you can choose whether you are virtually teaching or teaching in person. You have a couple of options. This adaptive math pathway is awesome because it gives your students a pretest to see where their starting levels are. And then as they work their way through, Freckle adapts to their level. So you can assign straight from here, or you can also choose to target a specific standards for all of your students to practice. This can be super useful for testing, if you are looking to see how your students are mastering a specific standard. Let's go ahead and look at the adaptive math pathway. When we click here, we can choose our class, and we can also select the domain that we would like to assign. So once you see the drop-down list, you can see that it tells you what grade level these domains cover. We have K through 8 here, and they have tons of different options you can choose from. So let's say we are working with base 10. So once we're working with base 10, we can go to assign immediately, and this will push out an assignment or a pretest to my students so that I can see where their base level is. And then, like we said, it's going to adapt as they practice, and we'll begin to challenge the students or see where they need some extra help and support. So let's go to activity feed next. So in the activity feed, you can see how your students have been practicing. You can see how they're doing by them looking here where it says most correct questions, least correct questions, and it's going to tell you who is in both of these categories and what they got right and what they are missing. You can see how long they're practicing here in this middle category and how high their accuracy is or how low it is. So this is just basically an area that you can use to really hone in on which students are doing well and which students need help. It tells you how long they practice, what their scores are, and what activity they were practicing down here. This is just a class for this demo, so there's not a lot of information here, but if you had your class logged in, you would see everything here on the activity feed. Let's go ahead and go to assignments. When you're in assignments, you can see what you've assigned to your class by subject area. So as of right now, with the free version, you can assign 3 assignments or printables per week. If you do pay for Freckle Premium, that would become unlimited, but for the free trial and the free account, you are limited to the 3, which could be completely fine depending on how much you use Freckle. So for math right now, my students are assigned base 10 practice, and you can see who's practiced, who has not, and how long they've practiced if they have begun, as well as their score. You can also go and look at the different subject areas. So I've also assigned an ELA assignment here. You can see the title, dot, and fat cat, and again, use this drop down to see all of the details for this assignment. If I did want to add an assignment, I can go and click on this blue button here where it says add an assignment. Once I click there, I can choose the subject area I would like to look into, and then choose the skills and domains, whether or not we're working on the basics or extended thinking. They have a lot of inquiry-based lessons, which are really helpful, especially for science, where the students get to dig a little deeper. And then again, it tells you which grade levels all of these different areas are suited for. So let's go ahead and look at an ELA lesson. I have some options. The library, and when you hover over any of these options, it gives you some more information on what this option consists of. So we have library, skills practice, assessments, word studies, decodables. So I'm going to go ahead and go to word studies. And I can choose the grade level, or we can leave it as adaptive grade level, which is awesome because it allows your students to move forward as they are ready. But I'm going to choose kindergarten for now. And then I get to select the level. So there's the level 1, and it's giving you the words that are included within this level here. So you can see which of these assignments are best for you. So I'm going to choose the rhyming activity. And you can see it's highlighted, and I would just choose assign immediately. I can customize the title here. I can copy the link and add this into my Google Classroom or Seesaw activity, and go ahead, and when you're ready, just press got it, and then it pushes out to my students right away. In this roster tab, this is where you will see the breakdown of your classroom. So if I click here for this drop-down list, I can see all of my students, their last login, and some more student settings here. Again, this is just a demo classroom, so there's not going to be information here. Let's go ahead and click on Aaron. And here you can see all of the different editing and settings for this student. Dashboard setting, support settings, and student details. So you can go ahead and allow these students to use any of these settings here, the number basics, number facts, adaptive math, and fact practice. This one is grayed out because it is for grades 2 through 8, so they're not allowed to use that. But you can customize what you want your students to access through this edit student area. Let's go ahead and now look at the subject areas. So if I click on math, I can again see that page and overview that we were looking at before. But I can also click on the standards button and see what standards I am teaching for the week. So I would again choose my grade level here, and then I can look through what standard I am covering and choose an activity that aligns. So I can go with the how many questions, and then I can see the printable worksheets, a benchmark assessment, and some sample questions here with an online activity. So if you are planning based on standards, this area is super useful and helpful because you can kind of just hone in on exactly what it is you're teaching and covering and find all of the resources that are helpful right in one place. You can also go to this report section here, and you can see tons of report options that you have in Freckle. You can see your students' math levels with their pre-test, their starting test, and the current level that they are on now. So this is going to show you their growth across the domains all in one report, which is awesome. They can see their report cards, their performance by specific standards. So again, if you're really looking at those standards and targeting the most important standards for the year, this is super helpful. Your students can set their goals. You can look at class grouping, which is super helpful when you're doing small groups and differentiated assignments. You can look at their assessments and also their fact practice. So this is really good for math. You can see what facts your students are mastering and what facts that they need some additional help in. And you can again see all these same drop downs for ELA, social studies, and science. ELA has the word study, which is super helpful and really cool too, especially when you're looking at word families. They have decodable readers and reading passages that again will adapt for your students' skill level. So now that we looked at the teacher side of Freckle, let's go ahead and take a look at the student side. So this is the student dashboard. Once they enter in their class code, they are just going to go ahead and choose their name. So let's go ahead and just choose somebody. So it's going to ask if they're ready to start. And if your students cannot read yet, they have these little audio recordings that will help your students understand what these questions are asking them. So we'll go in. And you can see all of the different subject areas here. We have math and English. You can see the assignments that your teacher has assigned you here. And there is a store that opens up for you to dress your characters and change their clothes. And it's really fun. It's an incentive for your students because as they get questions right and work their way through assignments, they earn points and coins that they can use in the store. And this will unlock for a limited amount of time for your students to go ahead and spend the coins that they are earning. So if I go to the area that says from my teacher, you see that there's a little 2 here in the red circle. So there's 2 assignments that the teacher has assigned. We have the ELA assignment and the math assignment here. So we can go ahead and click on any of these and start. So we can go ahead and just read through this decodable reader by clicking the arrow. And you can see that all of the decodable words are here in blue. So the student can see where they need to tap out sounds and look for those word families that we have been learning in class. So once they're done, they're going to go ahead and get some questions that are going to test their comprehension of the story that they just read. So you can go ahead and do that assignment, or let's look at the base 10 assignment that was assigned as well. So this base 10 assignment shows you your base 10 blocks and has the students choose their answers down here on the bottom. So I can go ahead and choose and it will tell me if I get it correct, or let's get one wrong and see. So now it's going to give me a hint, and the hint is super useful. And again, it comes with the audio, and it's going to help my students realize where they have made a mistake by just showing them a different example. So then they can go back and choose the correct answer. And you can see in the right-hand corner here, they are earning those coins that I was speaking about earlier. Those coins will accumulate and then they can then spend them in the store. So they will work their way through this assignment, and it tells them up here their progress. They've answered 3 out of 10 of the questions so far, and they can see here it says it's raining coins, and there's a streak bonus because we're getting them right. So the students are seeing right away how well they're doing, and this encourages them to continue through. And again, there's additional support buttons here on the side that will help the students get through these assignments. So that's the student side of their teacher assignments, and they can also go and explore on their own. So if they just want to click on math or English and explore, there's some more options here. They have number basics, number facts, adaptive math, and fact practice. It tells them how many sessions they have available here, and they can just click and get going. Tap on a math problem and enter the answer. So once they answer it correctly, they uncover the picture underneath, and everything starts to work itself out. So it's really cool. And it's going to allow your students to practice as they want, as well as do what you're assigning them. So students love this. It's very visually pleasing, bright and colorful, and it allows your students to just build their confidence in all of the different subject areas. So this is the online version of Freckle. And like I mentioned earlier, you can have printable resources. So you can look at all of the different standards that are on Freckle and choose one. And then you can generate a printed resource for the classroom. So this one shows you what standard you're looking at here. And then it gives you all of the questions here. So it generated 8 questions for this specific standard. So you can print these out and hand these out to your students to do as a homework assignment, to do in small group, to do as whole group, whatever it may be. But you have the option to work online, or you have the option to print and use these resources this way. But again, you have access to 3 free assignments, whether it is a online assignment here or a printable assignment here. You can utilize those 3 free resources throughout the week, and then it restarts for you every Saturday. So I think that this is a great resource for you and for your classroom, regardless of if you're teaching online or in person. Go ahead and let me know if you've used Freckle before and how well your students like it, or if they do not like it, in the comment section below. And I hope that you like this video. Please press the like button and subscribe to my channel, Loving Little Learners, for the next video to come. Thank you so much.